We have stopped and restarted stream just to keep the two VODs separate. Hopefully you guys didn't get lost in those few couple seconds. But we are back with the updated title. Yeah, we're gonna get right into this. The OTL matches. I'm gonna try to go through these a little bit quicker, just because when you have the playoffs, like we did earlier, you want to go through like every moment, really to get the breakdown on the exciting finish. So, let me just make sure I have. Where's our schedule? Oh, hopefully I can just use these links. We'll see. Does this work? Did. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that does work. I think I'm not gonna worry too much about going in chronological order, but I did want to briefly go through our standings, real quick. So notably, yourself, Matt, and Drix are all undefeated at 4-0. Myself, I'm 3-1 with my loss being to Drix. So, Drix having the win on me to get the 4-0 record, very well deserved. And
you got very good leading differential. So I think your pressure is very little in the in the last week, I feel.
Yeah. And then we have several 3-1 players who are all currently vying for the top 4 positions. Because if we get knocked down to 7th or 10th, we have an extra game to play to make it into playoffs, which can make the difference between having a good run and not. And so yeah, very very close race here in the 3-1 slots. Notably, myself and Kilika do have a pretty high differential. Excuse me, pretty high differential boost, especially over Ryan, who's only +1 at 3-1. And then the 2-2 spots are also getting pretty competitive, as only right now only one of them is not going to make it into playoffs at this pace here. So, and it's also a pretty close race with being like less than 6 differential difference total. So a bad game either way could definitely spell doom for any players at 2-2. And our top Pokemon, we have Monkey Dory. Monkey Dory put a complete A game on against me. Week 1 it did an absolute monster of work. So Monkey Dory up the top with Metagross and Low Kicks, both being very trade heavy sweepers that have put in work, but also played their role for a team and died when they needed to. And some other higher diff mons also here as well. Hello, Sweet Sorrows. Welcome. You just missed the end of the NBA review. We're now on to the OTL. We're going to try to blaze through some replays here, but it's kind of late, so I do apologize. And I know against Suzu doesn't have all evening.
It's alright. I can stay in for a little bit, so it's alright. Let's just
get into it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, first game, we're gonna go in just reverse order of scheduling here because I'm not gonna mess with it too much. But we have Kilika versus Neon Light. Kilika is one of our mods here and loves this format and is currently working on some new draft formats that I'm sure they'd love to talk about once they have a bit more settled out. Yeah, very very solid team, and Neon Light here having one of the most experimental rosters here. They have a lot of flying types and a lot of Trick Room abusers. 2 very different strategies kind of stapled together. And they did get a notably very strong win last week. So they've had some good and bad games both ways. So yeah, very very exciting that way. Yeah, any thoughts on the lead matchup here? This is low tier season, so a lot of the usual suspects for very powerful Pokemon are just not in the format.
Well, like I want to quote another sentence from Matt. He cannot play any Pokemon without a ground type. I think it is. I think this is a very interesting team matchup because, like I said, I saw Jolteon. Jolteon is very good. Even in the regular like power level, Jolteon is okay Pokemon, but in this like low power environment, Jolteon is very powerful, especially against this like flying type team. I don't. I knew the Macalola have a very like crazy special defensive, but without his like ground type, which is Mega Cameron, I think. So I think it will be a little bit hard game for Neon to deal with.
Fair, yeah, yeah. No, Jolteon being like not only a strong contender in higher power leagues, but also like a Terra Captain favorite as well. Um, but that 130 speed is, usually putting in a lot of work in the very high power level leagues, and even here it's almost uncontested, blisteringly fast. I'm gonna get right into this. Um,
Yeah.
and we see the lead Skarmory. You're gonna just click rocks turn one and get knocked off. Huge crit. It's probably not gonna matter in the long run, but it does get some notable damage early on Skarmory as it gets rocks up. And then this is gonna go for power up punch.
Oh, power up punch. Very interesting choice.
Okay.
Another one. Yeah.
And then yeah, notably it goes last here because of
Whirlwind.
whirlwind, and it
Okay.
just get that out of here. As Noivern goes for Dark Pulse with the
Ooh.
Life Orb, it does nothing to Aromatisse there, and he's forced out.
Yeah.
And yeah, this looks like very standard, especially defensive muck.
If I'm having this like Neon's team, I will run all the boots on those flying types and everything. Yeah, it's so pain to look at everyone take the rock chip.
Yeah, I know. You're notorious around here for being like the number one boots glazer, bringing boots almost as often as you can. We've seen things like in your
Hey,
history of
I
like
I run I run I
boots.
run zero boots on my NBA finals. I have no
Okay, fair,
boots on
fair,
that.
fair. Um, but like I think one of the most funny sets we saw in the past was what was it? Boots Haxorus to prevent sticky web, and we were like, that's terrible, and then it ended up being like really relevant in winning the game, and we're like, okay, fine, fine, you can have that W. So
Yeah. But yeah, back to this. I think a web on this Neon's part is very important, because especially for this two fast Pokemon, the Zygarde 10 and the Jolteon. That's yeah.
we see the aromatherapy come out from Aromatisse. Now, notably, um, so Kilika's roster is surprisingly offensive, with Zygarde 10 and Jolteon and his own Basculegion even. But he's got like so far he's only brought like Stallmons. We've seen very defensive Wish Protect Aromatisse. We've seen Stealth Rock Whirlwind. No attack moves on Skarmory here. And there's a Pyukumuku, which is a notorious Stallmon as well. So this game has been basically just kind of Kilika playing the hit recovery moves game, and Neon hasn't really been able to answer it yet, taking a lot of chip on pretty important Pokemon like Tornadus, Noivern, and even this Basculegion has taken a fair bit of chip from Wave Crash there.
Interesting to see the Basculation Civil War. Did they all
The
access to the
Basculegion Civil War.
Are they both have the Swift swim?
Yes, they both have
Like
Swift Swim and Adaptability. The only difference,
uh,
oh no, they have the same
they
abilities.
have no speed difference, right?
Yeah,
That's
the
interesting.
only real difference is to their attacking stats. The male version, the red one here, has higher physical attack, but not as good mixed attacking stats. Whereas the female version has higher special attack, so it can run both physical and special a lot easier.
Interesting.
Generally, people think that the Basculegion male is better just because it has the combination of Wave Crash and the higher attack stat that can really leverage it with. But notably, it doesn't have great Ghost Stab when you don't have Last Respects legal. And Last Respects being an absolutely monstrous move that should never see the light of day. But
I thought I have like a Shadow Ball or whatever.
yeah, so
It's just
Basculegion female can abuse Shadow Ball better, so it's a better like Ghost type attacker as
fair,
opposed to a Water
fair.
type attacker. And like you still have Skull, you still have Surf and Hydro Pump to use specially, so like you don't lose that much water move stab, but the Wave Crash being a huge drawing point for the male version. I think this game is pretty long. I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit. And here we see the counter on Pyukumuku here, getting the counter damage on that flip turn out.
I think it's a very designated basculation check. See the counter, yeah.
It has baton pass. Oh my god, yeah. And yeah, the Whirlwind plus Rocks putting in so much work here for Kilika. And the Aromatherapy preventing that poison from actually mattering long term. Yeah, like this just kind of looks like there's not really a lot of outs here for Neon, as he's got the status route covered, he's got both specialty and defensive checks, and Pyukumuku has consistently like put in work against Basculegion, which is the one big threat you might expect from seeing the water rain matchup here.
A bulky water, like special defensive like fairy type and a Skarmory is a very standard like balanced defensive team.
Oh my god, that was a very ballsy switch in on the Hurricane here.
Yeah, but it's not gonna click the hit wave, or I don't think it can.
Well, he could have Weather Wall water, but I think that was maybe a risk you don't bother taking, because at the end of the day, like, you're already winning this Hurricane war against Tornadus, and so risking your Skarmory, which you kind of need later, on a Hurricane is, maybe something you're not going to take.
I'm not sure if I have the move slot to bring the yeah, finally.
We'll have to see what the spread in last move on this was, because I feel like it wasn't as offensive as it could have been. I don't know, because seeing that Hurricane damage against Skarmory, I would expect it to do more, even with the resist.
It definitely doesn't have the Weather Ball. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no Weather Ball for sure.
Or I'm not sure.
And here Muck just not making any progress against this Skarmory. Noivern does finally get in and lands a Hurricane with the confusion happening as well. Yeah, this has got to be full spit F Aromatisse. Oh, that was a ballsy switch into Basculegion. Okay, Noivern putting in some work here against Basculegion, but not enough to actually take it out. That might be a Saltfest Basculegion, actually. And then Muck, once again, Muck has just struggled all game to do anything to the Skarmory.
Even his like 2 flying types doesn't have a lot of move to hit this. I mean, so the Hurricanes doesn't hit good enough.
Yeah, and Grimmsnarl can't break it either.
I think this
finally in here.
Yeah.
Oh, it goes for Aqua Jet. Wait, why would it? Wait, that was a free Wave Crash.
Yeah, I agree.
That might have been a misclick, but I believe Annie dies to Rocks, and this gets a recover off. Yeah, and that's just game. I do think that there's a bit of stalling at the end, because Kilika was very devoted to getting the full 6-0 for the differential in standings. So I'm just gonna skip to the end. We do see that Pyukumuku is the last one alive.
I think it's a monster defensive core combination of all these 3 Pokemons, and that's just unbreakable.
Yeah, and here we see Basculegion was Assault Vest with max HP. Not even an offensive invested. Very interesting Basculegion set. Jolteon was also leftovers with Toxic and Sub. So even though it was like a Jolteon, it was still a defensive set. Zygarde never left the Pokeball. This was full spin Def Skarmory. Okay, that explains why that Hurricane did so little. Aromatisse was full spin Def. Zygarde was offensive. No, it was It was also Toxic Protect
What the? It's
leftovers.
also Hey,
He brought all the he brought all the
I
stolen
hate
mons.
this guy. I don't like this playstyle. I hate this guy.
So I remember hearing Kilika after this game say, "Yeah, I stole something straight out of the AZ the checkbook of my offensive streams or my offensive mons don't look good, so I'm just gonna run Toxic Protect and or Toxic Sub and say, you know, screw you, I'm running Toxic Protect on my fast
I
Pokemon."
hate this type of this playstyle so much. Like I don't like this. Like last season of NBA, like everybody bring like 3 toxic against my team. I'm so pissed off by this technique. No, Zero Aura sub toxic. What the fuck is that?
The Toxic
Yeah,
Protect Zero, or that's a
I hate.
Albert, that's an Azzy special. So
Even Matt did this. Like I just fucking hate this. Like this sub toxic like protect stuff. Like I think it's a very shabby, like, I don't know. I hate it. I hate this. Even
okay,
the
so
Calico win, I won't give a lot of my compliments to this. But yeah, good defensive core.
so the last move on Tornadus was Dark Pulse. Notably, if this had been, it wasn't even full Spatak. It was like bulky, so maybe it was trying to live like a electric move or something. But I feel like if this had been Nasty Plot, it could have put in a lot of work against this team. Um, because it was just given a lot of free turns against Aromatisse, and Kilika didn't really respect it and never go into Jolteon to scare it out. So interesting to see that. It was Mystic Water Basket Legion, which explains why that Wave Crash was doing so much. It was Jolly Nature though, and did not respect the speed tie with Basket Legion. Luvani was Focus Sash. Notably, it had an even HP number. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but this does mean that it was going to die to 4 rock switch-ins instead of 5. So that is a little bit of tech to keep an eye out. You might, whether or not this is intentional or not, do make sure you check your HP numbers, because if you have a even HP number, you will just die to 4 rock switch-ins. And it had Baton Pass to pivot out after getting Sticky Web up. Noivern was Life Orb, Max Attack. Pretty standard offensive Noivern without a choice item. Could have had U-Turn, but U-Turn Life Orb is kind of not great, and it could have had Roost, but maybe it didn't feel like it needed it. And then Muck was Assault Vest with a fair bit of defense investment, actually. So yeah, very, very long game, but definitely a masterclass on Kilika saying, I'm going to force you to play my game. And Neon was not ready for it. Our next game is, this is actually a very close game, if I remember correctly. If I actually, sorry, go like this is Neon versus Overmat, or not Neon, Lethal Blue versus Overmat. So, no, Leezy versus Overmat, there we go. Leezy, just having made a bunch of trades to his roster, he traded in about half his roster after not doing great in the first half of the season. And Overmat here, having a very strong team with a strong Steel type, a strong Fairy type, and a lot of like very valuable picks all throughout. So yeah. Any thoughts on either of these rosters?
I think like Matt's team is very, I don't know. It's just like it's still his consistent like play style.
Oh yeah.
Very solid. Yeah, very solid and bulky team.
Well,
And
like,
this
um,
Rhydon is just like a degradation of the Rhyperior.
so he drafts
uh,
Sylveon a lot as it's like one of the few fairy types that he'll consistently draft in higher power level leagues. He has definitely used Mienshao in the past. I think it's been a while since he's used it, but definitely has been a Mienshao abuser in the past. And Rhydon is the lower evolved form of one of his favorite Terra captains, which is Rhyperior. So definitely on track for him there. And then Rotom Ghost. Most of the higher power level Rotom forms are not in the format, and so this being like a replacement for those, it makes a lot of sense as well. And he's notoriously used a lot of Rotom Heat and Rotom Wash in the past.
yeah. On the other hand, Lizzie have the Matt's favorite like Pokemon Rhyperior.
Oh yeah, we got
And
the father-son matchup.
yeah, and this Veluza is very good. I like the Veluza.
True. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Veluza was a
And
very nice late pickup from Lizzie, so I'm excited to see if it puts in work here. Rhyperior
yeah,
kind of winning the lead matchup, but Rotom not respecting the pursuit and getting the screen up for free. Rhyperior not respecting the Scald. It gets burned immediately. Oh, that sucks.
I think this Rapid stay is a little bit questionable. But yeah,
Yeah, like there was a Suicune and a Chestnut that could have come in for pretty free there on that Scald, but I think he just really wanted to get the Earthquake damage off, and unfortunately he gambled not getting Scald burn and got punished for it. And then Chandelure comes in here on this Toxic. Yep, makes sense that you want to try and protect your Suicune from that. Oh, does this look like might be Scarf? No, it's Life Orb. So it's just not very fast Tentacruel. And unfortunately, Chandelure after that Psychic only has one attack left. Oh, is it a speed tie?
huh?
So that was a speed tie, and Matt's here with the I need to start changing how I speed creep. It looks like Lizzie accidentally exactly figured out what he was going to speed creep and was a speed tie situation there. Very funny. Aerodactyl is unfortunately going to miss the Stone Edge here. Doesn't get burned though, thankfully. I feel like that Stone Edge would have killed. Tentacruel's not very physically defensive, and then just misses another one immediately afterwards. And Matt gets up his own rocks. This is just gonna raw Aqua Cutter. That did a lot. Oh my god. And that just kills without the crit. Wow.
I think
a low roll on the crit and then maybe a high roll afterwards.
If he click the what's it called, fling away in the turn, the previous turn, I think the game might be a little bit over now.
There is a Mienshao that could fake this out and get some chip damage that way, but yeah, if it had filleted away, that could have been game. I also don't know what Metagross said it was, so maybe it had like Mirror Herb or something. But yeah, Veluza very threatening here. Oh my god, it just chunks through that Rotom. Maybe it's Scarf. Or maybe Matt is just, once again, very slow in his speed creep. Rapira comes in as a sack on the U-turn. Tentacruel takes some more chip, which not ideal, but Aerodactyl has to come in and does take the rocks. Rotom gets sacked to the rocks as well. Earthquake is not going to hit anything. Gets 45 off with that Earthquake, and Matt does hit his Stone Edge, unlike Lizzie earlier. Veluza's going to come in, get the Aqua Cutter off, yep. And then here's Mienshao, and it just U-turns on Veluza. And I think Mienshao's kind of got this wrapped up. Tentacruel notably still being alive is a huge problem for Lizzie here. And it does get the Toxic off as this Calm Mind's in. Yeah, Toxic being one of the best ways to answer Suicune if it's this Calm Mind setup set. And it's even got the Haze for it. Yep. Tentacruel will just be a complete shutdown to Suicune here. And then having the Sludge Wave, notably Chestnut with Bulletproof is immune to Sludge Bomb. So very important to have Wave over Sludge Bomb here. And I think that's pretty much just going to be game here. I don't think...
I think I have rest.
Suicune. Oh, okay, wait, that changes things, actually. This now becomes a much different game. Because this Tentacruel is going to slowly get chipped down by Suicune. Wait, does Suicune win this?
No, I think the Tentacruel will can make the Suicune like with no command remaining. So that means like
oh, crit on that Sludge Wave. Wait, why did he click Sludge Wave there? What? Hazes the Suicune.
saves yeah. This kind of situation, I think the Mienshao will eventually.
I guess a knockoff.
No, it's not a kill. But yeah.
And then he switches out to Sylveon. Wait, Suicune should win this. Unless this Sylveon has like Psychic Noise or something? Or is it also Calm Mind? No, it's Roar Sylveon.
Roar.
Okay, he had Roar Sylveon the whole time. But wait. If he kills Chestnut, then he can no longer Roar Suicune.
Yep.
If this chestnut dies, I think Suicune still wins. Although it is asleep, so maybe it can't take this
Yeah,
hyper
it's
voice.
just by the.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Wait, it's slower too.
is that like a spec damage?
It can't be specs. Switch moves.
Uh,
Wait, did it switch moves? No, it was choice
no,
specs.
no,
It was
it
choice specs
doesn't. It doesn't.
roar.
Yeah, it didn't. It's just like a spec roll. Very interesting stat.
That's Sylveon clutching up the game there. Very, very close situation there. Yanxiao was choice scarf, which makes a lot of... I'm pretty sure Veluza was choice scarf, if I'm not mistaken. It was choice band Aerodactyl. Chandler was offensive life orb. The 176 speed being enough to speed tie Tentacruel there. Very standard Fizz-Def Combine Suicune. And yeah, choice scarf Veluza with an adamant nature. Repair with the Chople Berry. Chople Berry not actually coming into play there, and unfortunately getting Scald Burned immediately by the Tentacruel, really putting a hamper on its ability to get damage off. Rhydon was max HP with speed and an adamant nature. That's a very mat spread, very greedy. Light Clay Rotom with some speed. Scarf Yanxiao, Choice Specs, and Chocoberry Metagross with agility. Yeah, that game was actually very, very close.
Sugar berry is Matt's favorite berry, and
Yeah,
also
easily.
the cover. One interesting thing I noticed is that both the father and the son bring the pursuit, like
they
the
did.
Rhydon and the Reparier. That's very
Yeah, they
interesting
both
to
brought
me.
pursuit. Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah,
they're trying to catch each other, you know? Son's
yeah.
running away from home.
One's for Rotom, the other I guess is for the
Veluza.
Chandelure.
Veluza
I
maybe
think Chandelure.
Aerodactyl.
I think
Oh, Matt
Chandelure.
could have
Why?
pursuit trapped Aerodactyl though.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. That's interesting.
Up next, this is a very hype matchup. Knight Triumphant Azzy versus Ryan of the RB Leap Zigzagoons. These two players have performed really well and are two of the best players in the NHL league, the Nidoking Heritage League. So this is a very exciting matchup to see. Azzy is rocking his all not fully evolved Pokemon team, which is a team he's been extremely happy to play with. Whether or not it's been good has been another story, but really enjoying it. And I've been really impressed with Ryan's roster. It's a very like hyper offense build with lots of setup sweepers and fast attackers. Notably, this low kicks has been putting in work almost every week. Very, very threatening mon in this lower power level league. Yeah, any big thoughts against Suzu?
What I would say is I played as a like last week. I feel like he's like a non NFE team. Like the more mons you had on knockoff, the more advantage you get against him.
The more Pokemon that learn
So
knockoff, the
like
better.
I saw one of the best like knockoff user of low kicks that the opponent had, as well as this what's it called, Graphite, and also the like Tinkerton. I think that's a very favorable matchup for this RB lip thing.
Yeah,
Very
having a very,
interesting.
very dangerous knockoff spammer.
Yeah,
Low
everybody
kicks.
just bring the knockoff. That's a good strategy against the AZ this season.
Yeah, I'm gonna get right into this. I think after this replay, I'm probably gonna just call stream early. I'm getting kind of tired,
Sure.
and I kind of wanted to go over more of these games. Actually, you know what? After this, we'll do your game, and then I'll on stream there. And
All right. Okay.
I think that would be a good stopping point, so I can finish the rest of these later this week. Early turn here, dual wing beat. We see Cloyster comes in on that. Very, very ballsy switch. Cloyster often like a setup sweeper coming in on Scyther, but using its natural Fizz Def to really tank that well. And then it U-turns out, and Gligar comes in. Actually, wait. It U-turns. Oh, wait. The dual wing beat. And then this switches out to Machamp, maybe trying to catch a double, but it just U-turns, so it's not choice locked. Gligar
I
comes
don't
in.
know. I think that was the turn that this Cloyster can safely to just Shell Smash.
Maybe
It's
I think what he did is he doubled out of Cloyster expecting Porygon to come in.
that's fair.
Because if Porygon comes in, it's probably one of the few things that can handle a Shell Smash Cloyster and kill it back. But Machamp scares that every day of the week out. So having
Fair.
that double was very heads up.
Yeah.
And then here, it reveals that it's Flying Gem Acrobatics Gligar, which is a ton to Machamp here as it gets the Ice Punch off. And then I think he should have just gone for Acro again, but Machamp goes to the Dynamic Punch on the Roost and gets the Confusion. Oh, Gligar, you absolute piece of carb. Oh, that's going on the not a real mod counter. That counts.
Hey, it's not a good trainer to say that.
Yeah, not a good trainer to say that. You gotta believe in the Pokemon.
There's no garbage Pokemon, only garbage player.
There's no garbage Pokemon, only garbage trainers. Exactly. What's the a real champion wins with their favorites. So that's so funny. And then Gligar does get the kill. Notably, Machamp being down is huge because this team has a very notable fighting weakness. Sneasel, Porygon 2, Bisharp all being extremely weak to fighting moves. So Machamp being down that early is huge. Going for the Life Orb knockoff to get that kill just barely. Because Gligar is very physically defensive, but it looks like this is like an offensive variant, and taking some Life Orb chip to get the kill on Gligar. Now Tinkaton comes in on Scyther here, and it reveals Natural Gift. I imagine it was like Natural Gift Fire, not Terra, but Natural Gift Fire to get the kill here. It could also be Natural Gift Ground, but completely packs up that Tinkaton and sends it home. The cooked in chat. And then this has its own Acrobatics Flying Gem and gets a crit here. I don't know if this crit mattered. I'm guessing it did. Because Scyther has surprisingly good physical bulk. Having the same base stats total as Scyther, or Scizor rather.
We probably just don't have the Evilite to boost up the defense. But yeah.
It might not have had a Violite, so. And then here we see
low kick.
Bisharp lives this on 1 naturally. Now, as at the end of the game, he revealed that this was actually Focus Sash, and so it just randomly lived at not Focus Sash %. And so Bisharp gets the T-Wave off, and then a Sucker Punch as another low kick kills. Once again, Bisharp, that's the 3rd time Bisharp has died to a fighting move and not killed something back. So Bisharp is currently, if you look at the standings real quick, I want to point this out. As his roster. Bisharp has been brought to 3 games and got no kills. So.
Oh boy, that's the most expensive mon in Az's roster.
Exactly, yeah. So that's why if you see our lovely image here, we had Bisharp nominated for the last position for week 2 as it died to 2 different body presses and got no kills. So. Yeah,
that's so funny.
The looking for fighting coverage check has not been passed, and no para there is going to mean that Grafai does 1v1 Bisharp, but it is subject to getting killed by Magneton. This might be Choice Scarf Magneton, because if this was Unburden, it would have been, even with a half speed, still be faster than a non-Choice Scarf Magneton. So. That's a ballsy Swords Dance. Oh my god. And he goes for the Leech Life.
Oh, Leech Life. Looks good.
And oh my god, that absolutely kills.
Crazy.
With the tinted lens on the resist. Now what I'm really confused about is this thing we know has knockoff. So I think it's choosing to just go for Leech Life to try and catch Sneasel coming in.
I think it's to make itself like healthy. I think that's very important.
Yeah. And then it reveals last move Sucker Punch. As he wins the 50-50 here. So I was watching this game live, and I was like, and everyone's like, oh, low kicks just wins if it has a priority move. I'm like, Not if it's his Ice Shard Sneasel, because then it out prioritizes Sucker Punch, and Sucker Punch fails. And that's exactly what happens here as he gets the Ice Shard read. And um, I'm not sure if that damage revealed Bandit or something, but as he goes into Cloister, knowing that it can't really touch, that Sneasel can't really touch it, and just goes for the hard Icicle Spear, not even Shell Smashing.
I think this is a good chance to Shell Smash, but maybe just it doesn't bring Shell Smash.
Yeah, it might not have had it or might not have wanted to go for it. Notably, though, even if it did Shell Smash, this Icicle Spear wasn't going to end up killing. It just barely missed out on being a 2-hit KO on the Porygon 2 there. And then in comes Golomolola, which reveals Focus Punch as the Porygon 2 recovers here. Which I thought that was a hilarious set. And then goes for the Explosion, knowing that he's going to respect the Focus Punch and not recover. This sequence was crazy. I thought this was nuts.
Yeah.
The
It's fantastic Golem use. It's
very cool set. Getting the 48 into the Explosion.
But if I was like as I would just keep like recovering because like, even the Focus Punch did like a little bit less than half. I mean, he explode and make this Porygon didn't able to check the Cloister. It's very important, I think. I mean, keep recovering it is nothing, right?
Yeah, because if he just spammed recover on that Explosion, he would have been able to take this low kicks pretty well.
Yeah.
So that said, though, he's in a tough position where if he doesn't just kill low kicks, it could Swords Dance, and but low kicks needs to keep him low so that Cloister's Icicle Spear just kills, and then I'm pretty sure Cloister should 1v1 Sneasel in the end game. And in comes Sneasel here. It goes for the low kick. Notably, Ryan does not go for the Sucker Punch read. Maybe it wasn't actually Choice Banded Sneasel, or he was playing around something else, but doesn't actually go for the Sucker Punch on the low kick here, and Cloister living at 3% to tank the low kick, and I think based on this Rock Blush damage, it has to be like a Violite Sneasel. I could be wrong on that.
I think it's Everlight.
Apricot Berry for the Terra Blast. What?
What the fuck is that berry?
It was Choice Scarf Magneton, notably max speed, no HP investment. We saw the bulk. Oh, okay, so this was Impish Gligar, but had Flying Gem instead of Violite. I think this was kind of silly, but I respect it into like the knockoff spam matchup. If you're gonna run like Flying Gem macro, you should probably run some attack investment. But wait, it was agility too.
Yeah.
Where was the attack investment?
Yeah,
on this?
I would say like a Sword Dance will make more sense. I don't know.
Maybe he changed the set like last minute and didn't change the EV spread. Bisharp being Focus Sash, still getting completely destroyed by that low kick. And randomly, it had Focus Sash, but Focus Sash did not trigger on that low kick, so it just naturally lived on 1 with that 120 HP investment. And then we had a Violite Porygon 2 with Volt Beam, very standard set with Max Fizz Def. And it was Choice Band Sneasel, okay. I guess that Rock Blast was just not very strong. Oh, that's what I wanted to check, actually. Sorry. I'm pretty sure this Cloister set was very interesting. This was Adamant Assault Vest. Golomolola. I feel like this was going to kind of trade well into Porygon anyways, because Porygon wasn't going to do a lot of damage with Ice Beam or Thunderbolt, and this could just keep clicking attacks and force it to use all its recovers. So maybe that's why Azzy went for the attack early. Low kicks was very standard Life Orb Adamant with Swords Dance. Flying Gem Acrofy Eye. It was unburdened, so that means that, yeah, that did reveal Choice Scarf on Magneton. Notably, I don't know if that Acrobatics was a crit or not, or that if the crit mattered for that hit. And then here we see no attack investment on Cloister, which explains why that Icicle Spear did so little to Porygon 2. With a Rapid Spin. Oh, it didn't have Shell Smash.
Oh,
It was a
so it's
dedicated
like
spinner with boots.
it's cosplaying Blastoise.
It's cosplaying Bless. Yo, that's so funny. Tinkaton with Steel Gem. Oh, this set's hilarious. Steel Gem, Gigaton
Still
Hammer.
gem. I
Yo,
don't
that's
know.
actually
I never
heat.
saw this set before. Yeah.
And then Machamp was leftovers. It was not very offensive Machamp. It was bulky. Interesting. That's probably why it lived that acrobatics randomly. Was this like a dedicated Bisharp check, and that's why it had so much Fizdef? It must have been.
It could be. Yeah.
Very, very exciting game to watch, though. Very, very down to the wire. Living on 3 here. Bisharp lived on 1 without the Focus Sash proc. So, let's go to your. Let's go to the last game for tonight. You versus you played Soup, I believe. Now, I
Yeah.
remember talking to Soup about this game afterwards because he was not very happy with the result.
Why?
It was it was
Yeah.
a tough loss, but what are your thoughts on Soup's team and this matchup as a whole?
I think, to be honest, I built this team like less than 5 minutes, like because I have to focus on my NBA like final, and this is just 1 day before the final day, so it's like late, like Saturday. But I do feel like in the team building side, he's just like did like better than what I did. But I'm not agree with his like some decision he made in the game. I think he played like his his choice and his like clicks like make his like prep a little bit less effective than it's supposed to be.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
actually, I think that's a really fair criticism because I kind of had, there's a couple plays where I kind of was like, oh, I don't think that was the right line to go for, but I can understand why you might panic and do that. So yeah, I definitely agree with that kind of commentary here. We see the Bird versus Bird matchup here, and he gets the U-turn initiative early, which I thought was a really good position to be in. And then we see Bulk Up Embor super early here, and Wishy Washy comes in. And that flip was just a surprising amount. With screens and resist, that's like, you know, that's a lot of damage on a Wishy Washy.
Yeah.
And then you reveal Hydro Pump, so this is probably especially offensive. Illumise does not take that well. And in comes Celebi. Celebi taking the Toxic I thought was pretty big. Natural Cure is going to mean that it does nothing in the long run. I was, though, oh shoot. I was really scared this turn that you were going to, like, when I saw Celebi come in, I was like, is Wishy Washy just going to U-turn? I know that's, like, one of Gensuzu's favorite moves. So if this came in on the U-turn, that would have been a really tough position to be in.
Yeah. See, yeah, I played pretty passively in the first couple turns. Yeah, until here. Yeah,
We see the
I
Rocky
remember.
Helmet Electros and immediately misses the Supercell Slam. This
Yeah,
sucks
to be
because
honest,
this was like,
I really, so I'm sorry for this miss, but I really don't feel this is the move that this Electros should brought. I mean, what's the point of getting this move in their like 4 moves right here? Like I just don't understand. See, I have a screen, right? Like even if you bring it, why do you just click it now?
that's fair. I do like. I kind of see the argument for Supercell Slam being fine here. I don't know, like maybe the prep should have been a different, but like there's no electric immunity here, and so it like unless you have the 5% chance to miss, it's free damage. And even if like the electric resists come in, Gudra and Raichu, they're both like Gudra doesn't have great physical bulk. It does have screens and it has a lot of HP, so it's probably gonna be fine. But like Raichu Alola doesn't want to take a potential knockoff or electric move, even because that chip is gonna matter a lot on how frail it is. So I think it was fine. And it's the only move it's revealed so far, so we don't really know what else it has. And then Illumise gets sacked to the Draco. There was no real Draco switch in anywhere here, so it makes sense that after taking the big Hydro Pump, it's just kind of the dedicated sack. And did it get... No, it just clicked U-turn. And then this is going to go for Super Fang, and gets knocked off, revealing Expert Belt. which I thought was interesting. Um,
And to be honest, I thought he will U-turn here again, but so I was just too here to knock off the Celebi or other like item it had.
I really like this Flare Blitz here. Instead of going for the bulk up like he did earlier, saying like if you're gonna hit screens, I'm gonna make sure that you die for it. Um, and like if Wishy Washy comes in, at least it takes some chip. And here, like even doing 19 with the resisted with screens is still a lot of damage.
So this is this is turn that I don't understand why he's staying. Like this, there's no point to staying here. Like why don't we just switch out? Like we should just have nothing to. They have done nothing to touch all his other Pokemon, and this Ember is very important here. Like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, I agree.
really
I do
I don't
think
understand this turn.
I do think there's definitely a situation where if the interaction with Celebi didn't happen earlier, um, if I was in this position here, where right, you switch out on the Hydro Pump, and then this comes in, and then he goes into Celebi here, expecting another water move. The fact that like that this could have U-turn still is kind of why I would be like a little bit anxious or might go for a greedy play like that, because like if this whole situation hadn't happened to reveal kind of like what your game plan was, I would have expected U-turn on Wishy Washy, and I would be afraid to go into hard Celebi if you just U-turned out. So that's why I think maybe he was expecting U-turn or maybe like a coverage move to hit Celebi on the prediction, because right now your Wishy Washy is taking a lot of chip, and if it gets worn down, you have no real answer to this anymore. But you just take the safe play and go for the Hydro in front of it, not trying to overpredict, and he gets punished for maybe scouting an overprediction. So I think that's kind of like why I would be like, I don't think it was necessarily fully incorrect, but it definitely did not line up with what your game plan was, which was just to click the safe option and not worry too much about it.
Fair.
Because if I saw Wishy Washy and my water resist was Celebi, I'd be a little bit afraid of like U-turn spam, especially with how good your pivots on this team are. With Bomberger and Raichu being able to freely spam their pivot moves. That said, Drempa's gonna come here and get this kill. Gudra's gonna come in and he has to respect the Draco once again. Unfortunately, not having a great Draco switch in is really like hampering his ability to answer this right now. And then this is gonna recover as Gudra has the mixed knockoff. What was your Gudra set, by the way? Was it just like AV?
I kind of forgot. I do remember I got a lot of special attack.
Now, I do think that that Super Slime miss was super impactful, because this Electros, I'm pretty sure, was a dedicated Bomberger check. And that extra health means that you would have been forced to like click knockoff or like Brave Bird more into it and take more chip. And so, yeah. That extra health loss to the Super Cell Slam did kind of matter in that specific interaction. But I do think losing Ember really early really kind of like hampered the options to win. This is another play I didn't agree with, which was going hard Celebi on Ceruledge here.
Yeah.
I look at this Pokemon and like I know that it gets close combat, but seeing its dual stab, I would have gone hard Drampa to make you reveal that you had coverage for it. Especially because
there's no
is really going to struggle against Gudra anyways.
Yeah, because the Drampa, like I can click the Bitter Sword that freely, but like I don't know. I think it is a very good thought to have the Sucker Punch to punish the Weak Armor Ceruledge, but it's a little bit early. I think maybe it would be better if the Ceruledge like chipped down a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I was like, you know, it's a Ceruledge, so it's threatening, but it's not super threatening yet. Is it hasn't clicked Swords Dance yet? It's only got speed boost. It doesn't have any offensive boost, so you still have an opportunity to like do something to it before it gets a Swords Dance off. But unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna get completely destroyed by that Bitter Blade, and you just full heal off of it. So maybe just a little bit of an error in like sequencing, and then Drampa comes in and you're forced out, so maybe you just didn't have close combat to hit it anyways. And then yeah, gonna get the kill with Shadow Ball there. Bird goes with Stone Edge, gives it Berserk boost as it roosts. And then you Brave Bird, which gets a crit. This crit also I think mattered because based on that Stone Edge damage, this Brave Bird wasn't quite gonna kill.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just I think as long as I have Gudra at the back, I think it's just yeah. I feel this Brave like early kill the Rampa is pretty huge, but it's just a matter of the differential.
well, and it's also a matter that you still have a whole Raichu Low in the back, and you still have a lot of like tools to work with, and he's really low on resources. But yeah, and then this roost also didn't make a lot of sense. I think maybe he was trying to avoid giving you a boost. And you're a choice band here, right? Based on that bitter blade damage.
Yeah.
I don't know if it revealed choice band against Celebi or not, but there it definitely does. It's expert belt Raichu, which we never got to see. Max attack boots Wishy-Washy. This is a very the boots on Wishy-Washy. It was expert build Gudra. Okay, so it was offensive. It just was modest, so it had the minus attack nature. I'm a big fan. Gudra was one of the first Pokemon I ever drafted, and I ran a lot of minus speed natures on it when I wanted to run mixed. I don't know what your thoughts on that are, or
I think I think to be honest, like the lower the overall like environmental power is, like this like the OTL we've only draft like medium to low like tier Pokemon. Like the more important this like bulky Pokemon that can produce damage is more and more important. So like those like fast frail like wall breaker and the sweeper is less value than the high power level, but for the Pokemon like Gudra, it can shines a lot in this in this tier, in this like kind of environment. So
yeah,
it's
because
yeah,
one of
have
Gudra's biggest
so much
issues
bulk. Yeah,
is in higher power level leagues. It's supposed to be like a tank where it like takes a hit and hits back, but it just has a constant issue of just not having enough raw survivability or damage to capitalize on that. There's a lot of physical attackers that just kill it with neutral moves because of its low natural phys def bulk, and there's a lot of like strong special attackers that, despite its like 150 speed F, will still just kill it with a Moonblast or something. So, yeah, definitely a tough position in higher power leagues where like Gudra can kind of make the better of in a lower power league.
Yeah.
And then yeah, this was choice band. And yeah, I definitely think scouting the Sarah Ledge would have made this game go a lot, made it a lot closer for Soup. I definitely think. Let's check his prep real quick. So it was Boots, Illumise with Spadef investment. Notably, it was full Spadef, and that Hydro Pump still did 50 to it. So definitely kind of stat checking there with the raw offensive prowess of Wishy-Washy school form.
We should actually have 140 special attack. It is very scary.
Drampa was Life Orb. Crobat revealed Expert Belt with a knockoff, and it was physical Expert Belt. I guess. Actually, I don't know why it's Expert Belt here. Was Brave Bird really good into your team or something? Or was it for you?
I don't know actually.
Maybe it was just like they changed the item last minute, but I do like physically offensive Crobat, but I don't know if the item is right. Electros was full Phys Def with Roar and U-turn. Interesting.
And I personally feel like this should be like Discharge. Discharge looks better here. I mean, you didn't count this for damage, like.
Yeah, like why would knock off Gudra anyways? So Discharge seems pretty fine.
Yeah.
It could also just be to punish, like if you had weaker, like Cerulite, for example, has slightly lower Phys Def than special defense, so maybe it was just trying to punish that type of aspect. But yeah, I guess unfortunate that the 95% chance to miss was relevant there. And then Lumberry Emboar. Notably, Emboar can't get burned because it is a fire type, so I don't know what exactly Lumberry was for. Maybe it was for like a random toxic on Wishy-Washy. And it also had the Sucker Punch, notably for Cerulege.
Yeah, I feel like if he did get the yeah, I really like the set of the Embor. I feel like he just like stay in front of the wishy-washes a little bit. Yeah, if this Embor didn't die this early, it could be shine a lot in
Yeah.
the late game. Yeah.
And then Celebi with some attack investment and recover 3 attacks with Sucker Punch. Very cool Celebi set. It didn't really get to shine because it did just kind of get destroyed by Choice Band Ledge, but yeah, definitely very cool building ideas. And I just sometimes you just have to get the game like numbers in. You have to just play a lot of Pokemon to kind of get some of those like in-game plays figured out better. And Soup is kind of new to the draft league scene, and so definitely the type of thing where like this is like, it's gonna be a really good learning opportunity going forward. Because I think his, like you said, his prep was pretty good and very potentially scary into you, and it's just 1 or 2 misplays kind of let the game slip away from his grasp there.
Yeah, you can say like I like all my Pokemon except the Klefki are like very offensive like EVs and very straightforward. I think it's just I mean all the Pokemon that I brought this game like say the sets, but yeah I do feel like yeah in the first like 7 8 turns like I ended up like in a very bad like position.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think he played the first few turns really well, and then didn't realize how important some of his like sequencing was later game, and that's the type of thing where you have to sometimes learn the hard lesson and move on and be better for it next time. But yeah, um, where how many games did we not watch? I think there was like 4 or 5 we
Yeah,
didn't finish.
4 or 5, yeah.
I didn't watch my game, Drake's Lethal Blues, and
And
these two as
5,
well.
so five
5 games.
games
I'm
total.
gonna finish
Yeah.
those 5 games later this week. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and thank you again, Suzu, for being a wonderful host. Once again, final congratulations on your season win in the NBA, and best of luck going into the playoffs of this season as well, as you're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot. Yeah, very exciting to see how this season ends off. It's been lots of interesting plays, lots of like low tier Pokemon getting to shine, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And yeah, thanks to everyone who has played this season. We'll be back with more reviews from week 4 later this week, as well as the week 5 replays the following week. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Johnson. Yeah.
You have a good night, and congratulations once again.
Yeah. Good night. So I might just
I'll just leave call and
or
end the stream. So you take care.
okay. Sure. Yeah.
Well, big round of applause for Gensuzu for being a wonderful guest and giving a lot of insight into kind of how he looks at Pokemon matches that I know I'm always like, oh, they could have been cooking this, they could have been cooking that, but the very straightforward answers are sometimes what people need to hear. So thank you to Gensuzu for being here. I also need to finish the last meme for next week, or for this week 4. So the current nomination, I believe, just based on a brief skim of overall rankings, unfortunately, Bisharp is still 0 kills, but it's already been nominated once. And so the next closest Pokemon that I believe is on Neon's roster, which is Noivern with no kills, barely missing out on a kill that last game, and being a 4 point. That's come to 4 games. It's come every game and died every game, unfortunately. So probably going to be Noivern on the chopping block for the last nominee. But if you have any other nominations, I know there are some players who have not won a single game. If you look at the standings, both Lucas's, Luke Nukem and NN Plus, at -10 differential, 0 and 4, so they are straight out of playoffs. And I think Lucas made a couple of trades to his roster, which is why not everything is showing as many feints as it might have had. Where is Luke Nukem? Luke Nukem has also managed to spread out some of his kills throughout his roster. Like, he's had very close games against some very good opponents. Playing against Suzu himself, as well as Ryan, Kilika, and Goder, who are pretty well-known players in our league. So yeah, definitely not an easy season for Luke. Anyways, that's where I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna leave you with our lovely meme here, and I'm gonna wish all of you a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the flip side. Let me just quickly check before I send you off. I'm going to and I'm going to send a raid to Eric the Merchant, who is a Slay Spire streamer, small streamer, who I've been meaning to reach out to more. So let me make sure this actually goes through properly. Yeah, I found the right channel. Sweet. So yeah, thank you so much for coming out tonight. We'll see you later this week. Here's roughly what our schedule is. This one. This is so scoped. I'll be fixing this later, probably tomorrow, to post on my Discord server. So please come out later this week. We'll be continuing our Pokemon review later this week, and also running some Slay Spire. Checking out on Thursday, there'll be the beta patch notes, I believe. They come out basically every Thursday so far, so excited to see what's included in that. But yeah, thank you. Have a great night, everyone, and enjoy the other streamers.